Hey everyone, it's the Bandit here. So I'm on my way to do a little hunt. I figure, why not make a little video while I'm driving out to the site? We'll get to the site here in a bit, and I'll explain. I figure, since this site I'm going to is something out of the ordinary, something I don't usually do, figure why not bring you all along and let's talk about it. I got my GoPro along, so I'll hook that up. Have you along for live digs, show you how crazy this is going to be, or how lack of crazy it might be. So I'm expecting a lot of bottle caps, junk. I really do. This is a lake. They broke the dam down. The lake is quite a bit down, so I'm just going to work the edge of the shoreline. As you can see from the weather, it's been raining here in Minnesota the last 2 days, so I've just been gnawing at the bit to get out and swing. And probably going to be really muddy, but we're going to do it. So like I said, this is something a little out of the ordinary from where I usually detect. I prefer grass, parks, curb strips, private residence. Always seem to get pretty good luck. But like I said, this is an old swimming hole. There's a game protective league on the other side of the lake. I don't know if I'm going to hit that today, but for sure I'm going to be in the county park area. The county park, I think, was established in the 70s sometime, so it's not that terribly old, but people still went out there and utilized it way before it became a county park. It was a pretty good fishing hole at one time. I remember back in the 80s and 90s, it was pretty darn good, and then it just fell to the wayside like a lot of lakes did. Yeah, we won't get into too much of that. But other places I have looked at, old towns around the area that are now fields, sites and towns where the circus boxing matches have stopped at. Like in my hometown, right off the backside of the softball field, there's a couple newer softball fields. And I know back in the early 80s, the traveling circus came to town, and that's where they always set up. Back in the 50s, it was still a field in that area. So use sites like historical aerials, a great resource. When I'm at a new site or looking for a new site to hunt, that's always like the first site I pull up, if not the second. It's always either historic aerials or the GIS. GIS, I pull that up to make sure the landowner is a county owned. If it is private owned, I try to find their information, give them a call, shoot them an email, try to seek that permission. Emails never really work that great. People don't respond. I don't blame them. Calling them or door knocking really works well. Just be personable, talk nice, and it seems to work out pretty darn good. I'm very much an introvert, so it's one of my biggest downfalls when it comes to metal detecting is confrontations or going up to somebody to seek permissions. Once you work on it, you get better, you get more comfortable, especially when you're not doing anything wrong. And if you can film your process of retrieving a target, I post a video in the past, the full recovery process. I show them that. It's a quick little video. They realize, oh, this guy's not going to make little molehills all over my lawn. Go for it. Boy, isn't that a pretty church off to the right? I would love to metal detect that. Not in the cemetery, just the old church. So yeah, also in old towns, they had racetracks, like horse racetracks. Then later on became car racetracks for a little bit. Drag strips around areas. I'm a Yankee up here in Minnesota, so the drag strips aren't too popular. There are some around the area. I don't know of any historic ones. There is one towards the north of me here. I'm really thinking about making a little journey. It's about 45 minutes away, but I think it'd be a fruitful hunt. Maybe I can get AR and CB to join me on that one. As you can see with all the fields around the area, you think, wow, look at all that hunting area. It's tough in Minnesota because a lot of this land is new. It hasn't seen actual hands-on tilling. It's been implemented. So tractors, all now the implementation of it. When you look at the old historical maps, though, you'll kind of get a feeling of where they used to farm the old parts. And off to the right here, like this cattle, that could have been the part where they first established the house. They farmed close to the house, then they converted into pasture later on when the big tractors moved in the area. Oh, this is lovely. It's just a muddy mess. Moving on to other sites I like to hit. So going through my town, it's a farm agricultural community. It does have a railroad line going through. So of course, where the train stop is about a block away from my business, and it's been okay. I find a lot of Flatten coins and whatnot, but they always seem to be in the 70s and 80s. Now, in between towns, there wasn't a town every 15 miles in my area like there isn't today. Back in the first, oh, this is lovely. In the beginning, they didn't stop at every little farm community. Some were off the beaten path, so they had the in-between town stops. I know that the soldiers got off on certain farm areas, and I've been trying to seek permission because another resource is your local libraries to research. Go in there, most towns have their historical Bible, I guess you could call it. It just talks about everything from the mayors, the government, to parks, events. It covers everything, and that has been a gold mine. I go to the library, I look for towns, surrounding towns in the area, and yeah, it's been fruitful. County fairgrounds. If you've seen my videos, you know I like the county fairgrounds. And in Minnesota, a lot of them are older. You get to find some interesting things. I wish I would have been filming 8-10 years ago, because some of the things I pulled out of those fairgrounds was just ridiculous. So check them out. They're mostly county or city property. I've never had a problem. I've never seek permission for county property. Never got approached. Had many of law enforcement sit there and spectate me, wave, smile. Never ever even come up and talk to me though. Much respect for law enforcement. So I think they're just interested to see what's going on. A lot of times I think maybe neighbors call in or whatnot because it's just something different. But never fear, on county-owned property, you shouldn't have a problem. But like I said, if someone approaches you, be respectful, be nice, talk to them, introduce yourself, explain your hobby, why you're doing it. There's a reason why you're doing this hobby. I have my reasons, you got yours. Comment down below your reasons. Mine is I like the peace of mind. I like the physical part of it. I like to come out making a little money from my efforts. So it's good for the mental health. Let's just cut it down to that. It's just great. So comment down below why you like metal detecting. If you're in the hobby, if you're thinking about getting into the hobby, ask a question down below. I will respond, I guarantee you. I appreciate you all. So moving on, flea market areas. This one is kind of new to me. So my buddy D, this year he started taking me along to flea markets. We've gone to 2 now, and I've had a blast at both of them. I chuckle and laugh. I'm a coin collector also. I chuckle and laugh at some of the prices people have on the coins. The horrible fakes are out there. I believe I even posted a video about like an 1840 something CC. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. Carson City didn't open their mint until 1870. So yeah, just always be aware before you buy. There's scammers out there and whatnot. But the aspect of the flea market is great because all these vendors are there. There's coin collectors selling coins. Somebody's dropping something. There's going to be metal everywhere. You're going to find your beeps, guaranteed. Have I hunted a flea market area yet? No. Am I? You darn right I am. I'm going to seek that permission. Trying to figure out who I talk to on that. And a lot of times it's just a matter of going into that area, going to a local establishment like a coffee shop or whatever, and just kind of talking to somebody that's older or someone that's from the area. Make some new friends in it. That's another great thing about the hobby. People love to talk about history. People love to share their knowledge. Allow them to share the knowledge. Give them a reason to share their knowledge. It's awesome. It's rewarding on both ends. Next one, concerts in the field areas. This kind of goes to like the circuits and boxing matches, horse races, all that kind of. We had stunt car drivers that came into the areas. I found good luck token coins from that type of thing in the past. So look for them. They're great areas to hunt. A lot of times they're in the bigger city parks, bigger towns. Bike rallies, motorcycle rallies, always a great thing. I found many of Harley pins in my Powell area in my hometown. There's been many of bike rallies in that area. Also, they have graduation parties. But also with the Powell grounds, you find a lot of shotgun shells. It's a game protective league. I know it's probably politically incorrect to call it Powell grounds, but hey, it's what we've called it since I've been born, and that's what I'm going to call it till the day I die. Much respect to the Native Americans. We respect the Sioux big time in Sibley County. Scout camps, jamborees, those type of areas. I have one in between my town and a bigger city out in the country. I don't believe anyone's ever metal detected that. I've stopped out there, I know, half a dozen times. I've never seen a soul out there. I've emailed the scout councils, never got a response. But I'm going to be persistent on this one. I did get my bucket list, the scout scarf tie holder. If you check out my video, that was a great day. That was in the town next to me at what I call my Silver Park. I was just amazed to find that little brass scarf clasp. So yeah, then like I said, playgrounds and new and old, I love hitting those. Minnesota here, of course, we got a lot of snow, so I like to hit the skiing areas. Tubing, especially the tubing areas, are great. So here's what I'm going to check out today. I came out here about 2 weeks ago to put my boat in the water and fire it up and make sure it was good before fishing opening. Well, I pulled in here and I realized it wasn't going to happen. Started talking to some of my buddies, asked them what the heck is going on with the local lake. And they explained to me they broke the dam out here. Now, I'm not sure if you can see. I'm going to try to zoom in. Across the lake there, all that white, those are birds. Then beyond the white, that brown, all the way up to where there's grass, like in that area over there, that's where the water went. So I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity here. When I was pulling in here, I kind of slowed down and you saw the picnic table and the stove area, the big trees here. That's where we used to camp growing up. Let me focus in. I apologize for that. Well, focusing in on the dash. Hey, let's just go in like that while I finish this up quick. That's where we used to camp when I was growing up. Had the RV out here, boats and whatnot. And we used to always swim right out in front here. And where I'm zoomed in here, right to the right, where there's that little piece of wood sticking in the water there, that's where they would put the dock out. So, I'm going to try this. I pray that it all turns out good. It'll be fun. It doesn't look like it's going to rain here for a little bit. So until the next one, happy hunting. Good luck. And as always, to the lost, like, subscribe, comment down below. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm out.